And welcome back to the second part of the Megaman 1 Let's Play, and we are going on to Elecman. Elecman's notable because his level has the magnet beam in it. Magnet beam's important because it's literally necessary to beat the game, which is kind of a problem with this game. I like this game before anyone gets on me, but yeah, like, if you're gonna have an item be mandatory for playing the game, I'd rather the game just hand it to you instead of having to find it, because I find that kind of obnoxious. I mean, I've played the game enough that I know how to get around that, but it just in terms of design principle and things like that, I just don't really like that. But again, Mega Man 1 was a very, very early platform, so I can kind of look past that. And I think the game's fine enough on its own. Some of the later games I definitely think are better, but I still like this game enough to let's play it at least. Anyway, this level introduces us with the reappearing blocks, the ones that disappear and reappear. These are kind of annoying, especially the first time you play any Mega Man game, and they're in every single game. They're a staple of the franchise, unfortunately. Yeah, that's one thing the Capcom probably should have cut out a long time ago. I certainly wouldn't have complained, but oh, I know how to do them. It's just I find them annoying. Anyway, that little pellet, the health up, you can get this. I don't recommend you get it. I really don't unless you absolutely need it, because you'll probably die. The jump on there is like nearly frame perfect. Anyway, these enemies, we saw them earlier, but I didn't really comment on them. Once they get on an even plane with you horizontally, they will start shooting at you like crazy, and it will hurt, and it will be very painful and bad for you. So I recommend you just take them out immediately. The weapon you get from Fireman is just very good at killing them, so I recommend you use that. If you don't have that, the Mega Buster is perfectly serviceable. Anyway, we're at the part where you get the Magnet Beam. You need Gutsman's weapon beforehand, so make sure your route has this in mind, so you just want to take on Gutsman before Elecman. I mean, you can technically start Elecman, you'll just have to backtrack later on, and that's kind of annoying. Because the parts of the Wiley Fortress do mandate that you have it, so with that, yeah, that's kind of important. Anyway, if you get hit by these electrical fields, you will get knocked down. That will be really annoying, so just be patient and wait for them. Or you can be reckless, but, you know, you'll probably just take a lot of damage, and that won't be very fun. There's two different paths you can take. There's not that much difference. The one on the right had just a lot of annoying enemies, so I chose the one on the left. Anyway, here's the Magnet Beam. It creates platforms for you. That's all it does. It doesn't actually damage the enemy anyway. It's not very proactive, but it is kind of neat to have a weapon that gives you some added mobility. Anyway, I decided to do that just to show off. You can still kill him with like the fire weapon. That'll probably be good enough. His cycle is weird. Sometimes he will do a large jump where you can get underneath him without taking damage, but he doesn't always do it, so you have to be very careful. But you can do what I did with the Magnet Beam, and just make your own platform, and just not have to deal with him that way. Anyway, we're already at the level. This level's not very long, and I think it's kind of easy-ish. The boss, on the other hand, if you don't know his trick, can be a pain in the neck. His trick, though, is that he has really stupid AI. The thing is, I don't know how I came across this. You can just lock his pattern in place with the Mega Buster by you go to the left slightly, jump, move to the right, just as soon as he's firing his weapon, and it locks him into this pattern. Now, if you get hit, or if the cycle happens too late, it'll undo this, and that will hurt, because it only takes 3 shots from that thing to kill you, and that's at full health. I don't know why they have the Gutsman blocks here, because he's not weak to it. At least as far as I remember. There are damage sharks out there. Unfortunately, there aren't any damage sharks for regular enemies. That would be really nice to see what things are, like, technically the most useful. I mean, I have my own intuitions about what weapons are good against which enemies, but nothing concrete. Which is kind of a shame. It's not necessary to play the game. It's Mega Man after all, but it'd be nice to have that information. And for the last level here, I'm doing Iceman. And once Iceman is finished, then I will be able to go to Wiley's Fortress and just complete the game proper. And the fire weapon just deals with these things very quickly and efficiently. No mess, no fuss, nothing to worry about. Because the thing with these guys, like the Mega Buster, once you destroy one part, the other part stays behind and will aggressively attack you, and that's really annoying to deal with. You know, I'm using a fire weapon over the Elect Beam, and the Elect Beam's really powerful. Just because it's a bit more determined. Like, the Elect Beam has like, it kind of goes up and down a little bit, and it can sometimes miss those spinning platforms, which I don't like. So, and the fire weapon's just a bit more deterministic. I know it's going to hit it. So that's why I went with that. But the Light Beam's extremely powerful. Because it hits in all three directions, and it deals the most damage, I think, of pretty much any sub-weapon. It's pretty close to the fire weapon's not that much worse than the Light Beam, though. Which is why I went for it first. Anyway, this is where, like, the real disappearing block room that's going to, like, really aggravate you. I'm doing it the hard way to show it off, like, how you're supposed to do this, but really, use the magnet beam and you can easily get out of this room. Anyway, for this, I'm just going to say screw this and use the magnet beam. Not the most professional thing in the world, but it gets the job done. Be careful when jumping down for that energy up. The power up there, because while it can refill your magnet beam, which can allow you to keep using it more, the Megaman, like, he has a little bit of momentum when he lands on stuff, so he will slide a little bit even without the ice physics, and the ice physics are in full force here, so you will really slip off if you don't know what you're doing. And I managed to pull that one off, and I'm just kind of showing off here. There are glitches that involve, like, clipping through the door there, like, at very specific frames, and it causes lots of weird stuff to happen. I've never been able to pull those off, but I've seen them done in speedruns, so... I don't recommend you try it, though. Anyway, we have Iceman. His weakness is what is this? Well, it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, he's weak to the Light Beam. I brain farted. My apologies. Usually you should use the Light Beam on him because those icicles will sap a third of your health. And that's not fun. I'm basically showing off because I felt like it. Probably shouldn't have, but... if it had taken a long time for it, then I wouldn't have done this. But it doesn't take terribly long. His pattern does get faster and faster as the round goes. The timing for this is really strict. Like, people who play this will probably be, like, in amazement of that. But once you get the timing down, it's not unreasonable to pull that off a few times. Like, I don't recommend you try that. I was showing off. Like, just straight up. Like, just use the Luck Beam and he'll die in 3 hits. You shouldn't have a problem with him. And this time we're going on the final set levels with the Dr. Wiley Fortress. Every single Mega Man game has like one of these, at least in the classic series. All the way from 1 through 10, and Mega Man Base 2. Anyway, with this, we're started off with one of these guys. There's 3 of these in a row, one after another, so you can't tank them. You have to at least dodge one of them. So there's a number of ways you can go about this, and I just prefer the Ice Beam because you can freeze them in midair, and you don't have to worry about anything. I could have tried to walk underneath them, but I thought that was a bit too risky. Here now, I'm just got him far back enough. I'll use the magnet beam to get over him without taking any damage because I don't feel like it. Because I don't feel like dying later on, because this level's kind of tricky. You can use the Guts weapon to just take those out. You're meant to use the Ice weapon to freeze those, but it's not necessary if you can make the jumps perfectly. If you took some damage before, you can just grab that to restore some health. Be careful though, because I've never been able to make the jump back to climb up the ladder to get it, so I feel like it's a one-shot. You get one chance at it. Anyway, here I'm going with the electric beam because, you know, they start attacking you from up high, so you need the ability to hit in multiple directions. And for whatever reason, the electric beam will take those out that they're supposed to be only Gutsman's weapon will do, which is weird, but okay, I'll take it. Reminder, spikes kill in one hit. Even if you get knocked into a pit by a dude, your invincibility frames will not save you, so don't count on that happening. This room's a little annoying, but just because there's always the threat of spikes killing you out of nowhere. Like, especially if you get the knockback from a stray pellet. Anyway, if you use your magnet beam, you probably want to fill it up, because this is the main section I was talking about when I said the magnet beam is better for from the game. The only way you can get past this is with the magnet beam. And no, you do have a little bit of leeway if you come in with full ammunition for it, but if you run out of ammo, you're basically screwed. There's the pit to the right where you can kill yourself, which, I mean, that's not great advice for life or anything else, but it's like, you can go back and refill your ammunition again. And we have one of the most hated bosses in all of Mega Man history, and I'm going to be Mr. Controversial here by saying I don't think he's really that hard. He's got a fixed static pattern, it's not dynamic, it doesn't change. It's the same all the time. He does the same thing every single cycle, no matter what you do. I don't really get it. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I've played this game too many times. And also, I'm not using the select trick. I'm well aware of it. I'm not using it because I don't need to use it because I have actual skill. The Luck Beam deals most damage to him, so you should just use that. It is possible to kill him with just a Mega Buster. It takes a long time to do it, though. So just make sure you have a decent amount of a Luck Beam available to you, and he shouldn't give you too much of an issue. Just the main issue with his pattern is towards the end, where he starts, two of the pellets come one right after another, and you kind of have to make a running jump at it. Not too much of a running jump, but just enough that you can go by it, because you don't have the slide in this game like you do in like 4 and onwards, which would actually be really nice here. Oh yeah, actually it was in 3 and onwards, my mistake. Anyway, that's Yellow Devil. I didn't take any damage from him, so go me. Anyway, that's it for this part of Mega Man 1. I'll see you guys next time.